I remember when 60 people was a lot too. It still is. Some places you go. Hey, everybody. Don't mind the fact I don't have a voice. That's not important. This is Dead Dodge Garage Live. When I'm lying in my bed at night, I don't want to grow up. Nothing ever seems to turn out right. I don't want to grow up. I move in a world of fog that's always changing things. Makes me wish that I could be a dog. When I see the price that you pay, I don't want to grow up. I don't ever want to be that way. I don't want to grow up. Seems like folks turn into things they never want. The only thing to live for is today. I'm gonna put a hole in my TV set. I don't want to grow up. Open up the medicine chest and I don't want to grow up. I don't want to have to shout it out. I don't want my hair to fall out. I don't want to be filled with doubt. I don't want to be a good Boy Scout. I don't want to have to learn to count. I don't want to have the biggest amount. Oh, I don't want to grow up. When I see my parents fight, I don't want to grow up. They go out and drinking all night and I don't want to grow up. I'd rather stay here in my room. Nothing out there but sad and gloom. I don't want to live in a big old tube on Grand Street. Boom! When I see the 5 o'clock news, I don't want to grow up. Comb their hair and shine their shoes. I don't want to grow up. Stay around in my old hometown. I don't want to put no money down. I don't want to get me a big old load. Work these fingers to the bone. I don't want to float a broom. Fall in love, get married, then boom. How the hell did I get here so soon? No, I don't want to grow up. Oh. Yeah. There you go. Whoever wanted Tom Waits, you're welcome. Section 8 Bob Dylan. I think Bob Dylan's Section 8 Bob Dylan, isn't he? And I say that with love. If a turtle has no shell, is he broke or homeless? Are you like trying to get your type 5 together for the comedy club right now? Aw. What's up, everybody? What did I miss? Greetings, Earthlings. Jeff Militich, how you doing? There's some kind of weird noise in here today. It's probably this stupid computer. It's just how it is. Robert Fitch. Got firsties. Nailed it. McLovin Garage. What's happening? Rich Jordan. Josh Jesh. Working on his Type 5. My sister, who is somehow still in the land of the living. Kind of surprising, honestly. Old stuff rules. A rather warm Tennessee. It's nice here today. It's like 68 degrees. 67, excuse me. Yeah. Donnie with a question right out of the gate. If a proportioning valve produces more flow to the rear on drums, the principle makes sense if I'm running disc brakes. Well, it doesn't do that. It reduces the amount of pressure to the rear brakes, and in some case delays the application of the rear brakes. It's all about keeping the rear brakes from locking up.
Four-wheel disc, you just run 50-50, I think. I don't think you really have the pressure problem with four-wheel discs. They're always going to be smaller than the front, so I think that does the right thing. But it's always nice to have the hand adjustable valve, then you can dial in your brake bias. As far as helping to slow drag tires, I don't know. I'm not an expert. Glenn Uromi, what's happening? Dan Tupper. Josh Jash. I think I already mentioned him several times. Punched the like button, please do. Keith Galitri is here and says, "What's up, Mr. 4-Speed?" So I went to the track on Friday. And I was going to try and get that video out today. It just didn't get together fast enough. But basically, I beat my previous best by a lot. So that'll be coming up. Good to see you, Glenn. Thanks for being here. Lovejoy, what's up? Connor Lake Havasu is back as well. Greetings. David Bisnett, thank you. How hungover is Jamie? Not really. I just had a headache. And the big thing is, I stayed up till 4 a.m, huffing smoke from the fire and screaming. So, my voice is kind of shot. I did have a headache, but I'm doing fine. I got up at 10:30 and then I was going to start editing video and it just didn't happen. Bell James, what's up? Mostly Mopar, good evening. Full garage. I had a great weekend. Yeah, my unofficial birthday party was yesterday. And Friday I went drag racing. Ate a damn fine cheeseburger. Yeah. And then today I volunteered more set building stuff. Didn't break any important body parts, so that was good. Yeah. Glenn Uromi, really enjoyed the GTX and Charger videos this week. Yeah, awesome. Those two videos did very well for me, especially the GTX one. But the Charger one did too, so I'm pleased with that. At least since I only got 2 done this week, at least they were both pretty good ones. Works for me. Paul Steinberg, welcome and thank you. Brad's Restorations, how you doing? Dina Daughtry, I think. Dina? It's got to be Dina. Hello from the land of wet sunshine in Florida. Wow. Cart 70, what's happening? I'm not drinking tonight. I did all that yesterday. Anyway. If you haven't, please give the like button a caress, because it does stuff for the thing with the deal. Jeff Mills, Dr. Art, does anyone have any mozzarella? I think this is the wrong live stream for that. 69 Cornet 500, what is up? Outlaw Andy in Waco. Tony Sears in the Southern Dakota. Nice. Mopar Jimmy, you bet. Happy to help. Josh Jesh. Question about a Ford. What makes you think I could answer that? 87, carbureted 460. Battery light comes on in neutral. And no other gear. It's going to be revving up in neutral, dropping RPM when you go in gear. I have no idea. Check the actual battery voltage, see what it does. Granddad's junk is here and just woke up. Nice. So, yeah, that guy went to the track with me on Friday. And then yesterday came and ran the grill. And was also up screaming at nothing until 4 a.m. or something. So, anyway. He's conscious. Richard Scott, how you doing? Alan Perryman, Don Ross, Mopar Pollock. I had a great birthday. What are we doing? Oh, the Ford? Yeah. Sell it and wave goodbye. Nice. Albert Los? Hopefully it's something like that. Apparently it's 113 there. Nope. Good on that. Thank you. 72 and sunny at Jeff's place. Nice. Why is it so hard to find a trunk lid for a 73 Charger and bumper brackets for the rear bumper for a 72 Charger? Didn't they change the trunk lid? Because they changed the quarter shape. So I think that trunk lid is 73 Ford Charger only. Pretty sure. The doors are different. The quarters are like everything's different, I think. So I guess for that reason. And as far as the brackets, we got some from Wildcat Auto Wrecking in Oregon. But I don't know if they had more. They're out there somewhere. R. Hill, I apologize for the mild amount of clickbait. My 2 videos this week. I thought it was going to be so much worse. And it wasn't. So, anyway. Yeah, thankfully not blown up yet. See, Storai, good evening. How you doing? No Cool Garage. I'm doing great, except for the whole voice thing. Howdy, Mark. Yeah, thank you. Rooster. Hi from flooded Minnesota. Why is it still flooding in Minnesota? Oh. Glenn Uromi. During the Charger video, you made some comments about Edelbrocks on Big Blocks. This was my first Big Block Edelbrock install, and it's been tough to get dialed in. Why? Like, I'm going to say 90% of the time, I just take it out of the box and I set it on the engine, and then I like connect a fuel line and a throttle, and then I start it and fill the screws a little bit, and then it's good to go. Yeah, that's been my experience with it. Like time and time again with those Edelbrocks, they're usually great out of the box. So I've done a lot of videos about various tuning on Edelbrocks. I mean, you're going to set the idle screws and check your springs. You could do a few plug reads and see if your needles are about right, or go by the seat of the pants. But I mean, what's the issue? Now, haven't we talked about timing on yours too? Because that's where like the battle is won and lost. It's timing. It's the most important thing. Bionic Bigfoot, hello from Seattle. Hello from Aberdeen. How you doing? BCC Photech says, hey from the heat. Nice. Vern Dead4, on a 75 Plymouth Scamp, is it worth it to get rid of the bumper spacers, or does it still look weird? Well, pulling the bumpers in can help, but it's a lot of work for not very much reward, honestly. The back bumper, 75 Scamp. Yeah. There's no other version of that has a bracket that you can just buy to pull the bumper in. But I think you could re-drill the holes. Yeah. Front bumper, you could switch to earlier stuff, but again, I think the bolt holes are different. Pretty sure, because you've got shock mounts on your 75, and so that stuff just messes up everything. It's tough. It is not as easy as the other cars. I'll tell you that. On the 73 Charger that we did here for the front bumper, I just ovaled out the mounting holes. Those don't have the shocks though. You've got the shocks. Those don't. But we just ovaled out the mounting holes like a lot, and then removed the spacer and just tucked the bumper in. And it worked really well. So you could potentially pursue that option, but having the shocks in there, I think kind of changes things. What was your time? Did I actually take a picture? Yeah, I took a picture. All right. Okay, hang on. Let me... Just between us gals here in the hot tub. Okay, so I lined up next to a Tesla, and... Well, the Tesla won. I don't want to talk about that. But... There you go. Yeah? Yeah? My best reaction of the day. My slowest 60 foot of the day. They were just gradually dropping off. But my best mile an hour and my best time. And before that, I ran an 8:35. So that, if I could like do that consistently, might be a usable race car with a 4-speed. That'd be cool. 8:30. Thanks, Bill James. Appreciate that. Donnie's Daytona did an early burnout, but it was due to the throttle sticking. Pucker factor level 100. Nice. Yes, my sister and I drank all of the cider yesterday. Excuse me. There were more flavors of cider in this house yesterday than I even thought existed. Just amazing. Diddle. I cannot for the life of me get the rear bench to lift out of my 73 Valiant. How are you supposed to push down, in, and up at the same time? Ugh. It sucks. But it can be done. Last time I removed an A-body seat, doing exactly that, 2 other people had already tried, and I wanted to prove myself, and I did. I got it out. But I completely ruined my wrist by hyperextending my hand backwards, trying to get that pressure on it. I mean, that's it. You push down, rearward, up. Now, in some cases, in some cars, you can actually reach underneath and feel the hooks. And so it's, I'm not going to say easy, but it's at least possible to get in there and feel it, and you can kind of see what you need to do. But it is not, it's tough. It's really tough. Good evening, All Classics Restoration. Nice. We've saved him from doing any further work. Awesome. I saw you sent me a link to that thing that I should actually be able to see. I need to go back and do that. It's been a hectic weekend, but I'll see what I can do. Donnie says voltage regulator on that Ford thingy. I will take his word for it, but I'm not. Yeah, whatever. What Donnie said, I guess. End of time. Cider time. Hi from Canada. Nice. Mike DeMaio. Yes, I got your email. Appreciate the offer. It's very nice of you. And I'd love to take you up on that someday, but I'm probably not going to do that this year. It's interesting. And if I'm going to go there, I'm going to do it the hard way and take one of my cars, probably. Because I don't care. Does that make sense? If I'm going to go, I'm going to do a video. I'm going to take a car. I'm going to find something to do. I'm going to, I've seen a lot of cool Mopars. I don't need to go halfway across the country to go to a show to see more of them. They just come to me. So anyway, appreciate the offer. I don't, if I drive there, I'll try and keep in mind that I should send you an email. There you go. Functional History just got back from Cleveland. Woo! Yeah, everything's going great, and thank you. Appreciate that, Vic. Donas Question, sir. What would a 72 satellite with good floors and trunk pan, dented but not a rust bucket, possibly be worth? I don't know. They're still late Bs, and they're not. I don't know. What are we talking about? We got a big block under the hood. We got a 318. We got nothing. Do we have an interior? Is it a nice car minus all the dents? Is it? I don't know. I can tell you what any Charger is worth, no problem. But that, $2,000 to $7,000, depending on condition, and they're probably going to want more than that. Also, yeah, depends on a lot. Just so much. Josh wonders what fell over in Tom's shop on his video today. I haven't had a chance to watch it. 392 DTNA is here and says, any updates on your new Challenger? Impressions? Curious for my son. I love that car. Highly recommend it. Really, really like that car. Yeah, I'm just driving it and enjoying it. I fixed the rusted out brake line in my Jeep, which I'm trying to sell. So I've been driving the Jeep. But yeah, got back in the Challenger today. I like it. It's great. It does all the things I want. And it's plenty fast for... It's probably too fast for your son. Nice. Mainly cold and hot idle speeds. Oh, that's easy. Actually, Glenn, I just showed this in a video. Which one was that? The GTX video, I think, the first one. Excuse me. Something I've seen on a bunch of those Edelbrocks with the electric choke. I am having to loosen the choke unit and spin it counterclockwise, rearward, move the line rearward, like 3 hash marks from center there. Because what I've been seeing happen many, many times, I've seen this, it won't come off cold idle. Or it will, but it won't. So it'll, in some cases, like it'll be off cold idle, but then it'll hop back on. So if that sounds like your issue, possibly, loosen the choke stove thingy and roll it back like 3 hash marks from center, tighten it back down, and that may help it get onto hot idle and stay there. But yeah, other than that, there's a procedure for setting the cold idle speed, and funny enough, it's done when it's hot. You got to have it fully warmed up, and then you turn the thing, and I think it's not the very top marker, but not the very highest thing on the cold idle cam, but the second highest, and then you set it to like 1600 RPM, I think. But again, it's done hot, so then when it's cold, it's supposed to be, whatever, 1300. But yeah, dialing in the hot speed shouldn't be a problem. It depends on engine. If you got some rowdy cam or something, that can get tricky. Rand on text, nice. Says I should paint all my cars green, so I guess we'll just go ahead and ban him. If you have a 90s Dodge Daytona with a Chevy drivetrain, a Mustang 2 front end, does that make it an AMC? Pretty damn close. Or do I just need to order pizza? You know my address. We're having hot dogs for dinner, though. Oh, cream cheese. Screwed up. Nice. Richard Scott's got the built 360 in the Valiant, getting close to firing her up. Nice. Yep. Dan Tupper's got it. Pizza. Nice. Good to crit, but it's already fixed. It's been fixed since the day after I got back. And my dog's freaking out. It was at the track on Friday. It ran at 8:30. We're good. I am so pissed at myself for not putting the 489s in before I left. I had them sitting right there. I could have done it. I was talking to Joe on the phone, and we were just kind of bench racing and going, I think that's a little much for that engine. No, it's not. I think I need to raise my rev limiter. It's really, really good. The bog, gone. No longer. It doesn't do that anymore. That's the half a second I picked up right there. Anyway, it's fixed. And I'm pretty sure there are 7-second passes in it, if I can find them. And Gary Hergert apologizes. That was his car, the Green Bean 68 Valiant, that I ruined my wrist on. And then I got that stupid seat up, and there was a rat's nest, like this big. It was awesome. Nice. Kelly Jones, hello from Lynn, Mass. I have a roller LA360 with smog heads on it. What heads would work out best budget-wise that will easily bolt on? The heads you have. Those 308 heads, people pay good money to get those heads. Keep those heads. Do a little port work and plug the smog holes and put good springs on there. But don't throw away those heads. You already have the heads you want. You're not going to get a big improvement out of anything, really. I mean, X's or J's are better, but my Demon, 360 smog heads. Just saying. And that car almost does wheelies. I'm not claiming it does wheelies anymore. I've reviewed every single launch in slow motion. It almost does wheelies. But there's no visible daylight. Anyway, smog heads. Those 308s you've got are good. So stick with them. And as far as a cam, there are different ways to go on this, but I highly recommend, one, you don't buy a comp. Ideally, have one made. Have your original if it's good. ground by a local cam grinder and have your lifters resurfaced. That would be the way to go. And they will be able to make recommendations on specs that you want. They'll take information like the gears, the transmission, the intended application of the car, the weight of the car, other components and things like that. And then they'll make a recommendation on a grind. And I highly recommend you talk to them and go with what they say. But I have built, I'd say, a handful of 360s by now with a cam in the 480 to 485 lift neighborhood and duration at 50 of 230, 232. And that seems to work really well. It's something like that. Anyway, don't go out of control. Keep some torque. Unless this is like a drag car. Hopefully that helps. Bell James, is there a sticky and electrically conductive goo I can put on my instrument cluster regulator? It is a bit loose in the board. I don't know about that, but what you should do is pop it out and take the pins, use 2 pairs of pliers, like needle nose pliers, and grab them and whoop, just put a little bend on those, and then it should stay put. I've had to do that many times for various spade connections like that. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate that. Yes, and there's a video coming, of course. I had 3 passes that day. Every pass was my fastest pass ever, and it was awesome. I, again, missed 3rd gear on the first pass, and it was still my fastest pass ever by a lot. Yeah, that's what we did for our ladder. You do that, you got yourself a working ladder. That's what we did that's what I said. That's what we did on the 73 here. Yeah, 71 or 72. They're the same brackets. Either way, you cannot use the front ones, though. You probably know that already. You said rear brackets, so I'm just saying in case you do not know that. You cannot use the front brackets from a 71 too. And I know that because I thought you could, because you can on an E-body. But B-body, because they changed the subframe, it no worky. So we ended up, actually I was just talking about this for other reasons, ovaling those holes, re-drilling them and slotting them is what we did. And then took the spacer out and just slid the bumper in. Worked great, actually. But yeah, trunk hood for the 73.4 has a kind of spoiler lift. I didn't know the 71.2 didn't. I mean, the 68 trunk hoods even have that. The 2nd gen ones do, so. Huh. Roy Cervantes, how you doing? Yeah, I thought the shape was actually different on those 73 trunk hoods. But the doors are different. The quarters are different. Like, everything is different. I know they're similar, but I kind of didn't think they interchanged. Like, physically fit. But anyway, cool. Nice. Dakota Campo, what is up? Michael reminds me that Rod Run in Long Beach is September 6th, 7th, 8th. I may be there. I would like to. Yeah. Oh, 72 satellite 4-door or, well, they aren't all Sebrings either, but yeah, 2-door. Yeah. Offer him 2 Barracuda back windows. I'll just put that on the board for a second, I guess. Sorry. What can I say? I'm good at crap. Derek Stone, how you doing? Okay. Nothing under the hood. Gutted, but all parts are there. Says it has a 400. And is it a 2-door or a more door? Did not think to ask that for some reason. Ross fixed it. I don't know what Ross fixed. Maybe the ability to comment. Anyway, welcome. Yeah, Mike DeMaio, great point. Yeah, it's a 360 with smog heads that has enough power to snap axle shafts. So just saying, do you really need better cylinder heads? Do you? Yeah. Mike DeMaio. Try and make it out, not just cars. Lots of industry people like Herb McCandless. Okay. Meeting him would be cool. Yeah, that would be cool. I don't know. I'm not that guy. Anyway. Scene 440 source has engine mounts for a big block swap, 73 B body for the small block K. Are they any good? Is 440 source just selling Schumacher mounts? I'm not familiar with that. Big block mounts 1973. Schumacher has them for $200. That's what we used. Classic Industries is carrying them. Those are the Schumachers. Late B conversion spool, $150. I'll be damned. They look just like the Schumachers. I don't know if they are or not, but anyway, yeah, they look just like the Schumacher mounts we put in the 73 Charger here. So I'm sure they are fine. If they are the same, because they don't explain it here, some material may need to be removed. The Schumacher ones, you have to re-drill and chop down the driver's side pedestal, and it didn't mention anything about that in their notes. So maybe they're not the same, maybe they are. I don't know. They look just like the Schumachers to me, but I can't really tell. Anyway, you still have to modify the K-frame a little bit, but it's not a big deal. But yeah, that's pretty much exactly what we did. They work great. I still have a set of those Schumachers sitting here somewhere, I think. No, it was Tracy's. Never mind. Anyway, good stuff. Sam Corbin, 4-wheel drive swap and a 2-wheel drive 86 D150. Any tips? Are you lifting it? Because if you lift it, you can stick with your 2-wheel drive steering box and convert to crossover steering, which is like 1,000 times better than the factory 4-wheel drive push-pull steering. To do push-pull, you need the 4-wheel drive box, which spins the other way. You need the bracket to mount it on. Then you set all that up. And then you have a worse steering system. But you have to lift it to make room for the crossover. If you can do that, you're already set up better than the factory 4-wheel drive guys. Stick with the 2-wheel drive box, modify the knuckle bracket. There are different ways to do this, and I've never done it myself, but I've seen it done. I'm familiar with the process. But anyway, it involves some customization and some head scratching, but it works so much better. You don't get the horrible bump steer. It's just a way better system. So that's what Rams in the 90s had, was crossover. Well, or Y steering. Anyway, so there's that. The frames themselves are the same. You're going to have to remove the cross member and get rid of the coil mounts and everything. And then there's a kit for a different cross member you can put in there, or you can cut the 2-wheel drive one way down. That's the other way to do it. The leaf spring holes, I believe, are all, the hangers are like, everything's there because it's the same basic frame. You're going to have to torch off the strut rod mounts. It's not a big deal. Yeah. It's not a huge job. It's, there's some stuff to it, but yeah, not a huge deal. Michael Adamo, what is up? Avon, what's up, cheese bags? Martin, with the 71B and the 971 oil pan. How's it going? Oh, awesome. Glenn, that's Glenn's exact issue. Okay, cool. Hopefully that helps then. Nice. WTI 70 asking the tough questions. Will a newer V6 Challenger beat a 68 383 Charger in a drag race? It depends on how the Charger's set up, but like, probably yes. There's this dingus named Apocalypse something. I actually banned him from the comments because just on every single video, he was just commenting about how slow my Demon is and how my stupid V6 Challenger is faster and yada, yada, yada. Like, dude, it was funny once. It was funny. I could take a ribbing. Like, that's fine. But it's just again and again and again. So I sent that guy to the corn. But it's legitimately, like, it probably is faster than my Demon, and I want to take it to the track and test that theory. I kind of want to take the Charger to the track, but I also kind of don't. Why? All of a sudden, I've only just realized I can barely hear in my left ear. That's probably not good. Anyway, it depends on the setup. It depends on the drag race. 8th mile race with the right gears in the Charger would probably help it get out of the hole. I don't know. It would be a very interesting matchup, though. Michael Adamo. Hey, Jamie. On Facebook, did you see that somebody tagged you in a post 79 New Yorker 300 because that was me? I probably did see it. I see so many cars. People are linking me cars, and it's just never ending. So yeah, I probably did see it. It's not my thing, I'll tell you that. Don Ross says, believe that's a Sebring. So it's a 2-door anyway. You can have breakfast for dinner. Yeah, 2-door. Nice. Steve Hovey 70. Hey, Jamie, did you get my message? I don't know. Probably. I get so many messages. Hey, 141 of you out there. Well, it's 139 now. If you haven't hit like on the stream, you should do that. Unless you don't like it, in which case, don't. And thanks for hanging out. And let me know if you have any questions. Oh. Classic Dude Mike. Ever set up your diecast cars in front of a flat panel TV like they're at a drive-in? No. Interesting. No, I haven't. Nice. Who dares message me? What is with you guys? Save some Charger diecasts for everybody else, would you? Guys in McLovin. Jordan is back! Back from last week. Might have an update on my struggle obtaining a Mopar Project. Found a guy with a complete 66 Cornet with a title that I might be able to pick up for dirt cheap. Dude, you better be on your way right now. I love 66 Cornets. We've got a 66 Cornet wagon. Of course, I like the Chargers of a similar year as well. Those are great cars, and the values are not going down. So, cool. Heck, even a sedan, whatever. But if it's a 2-door, then you got something. I don't know why I'm quieter in my left ear. Oh, yeah, I do. Because my mixer's a piece of garbage. Anyway, cool. David Frias, how you doing? Good evening. Roy Cervantes says the last 2 B-Body videos were great. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I thought they were pretty good. You already stuck the name Corndog on my car. You're not sticking it on me, too. Martin McDaniel, good evening. Just found your channel, and I must say I do enjoy it, and I have learned more here than anywhere else. You and Uncle Tony are great. Thank you, Martin. Appreciate that. Thanks for being here. Okay, I need a second. Hang on. This is driving me crazy. That fixed it. Oh, it's fixed. Messed up chord. Nice. Anyway. Thanks again. Krill Common? I have a 65 Dart with 273 904. Any recommendations on improvements? Good tune-up? Make sure you have full throttle? 273s are great, even the 2-barrel engines. 4-barrel's a nice upgrade if you don't have one already. I mean, if you want to have fun on the street, a more aggressive gear in the rear end could help. But I don't know. We had a stock 273 in my brother's Duster that was just lots and lots of fun. You get them tuned right. Yeah. I mean, there are all kinds of things you can do. It's just like, what's the line? I think it's a Tony line. What kind of party do you want to have? What kind of vacation do you want to have? Something like that. There's so much you can do. But, like, how much do you need to do? What's the application? Is this a daily driver? Is it a race car? Is it a track day car? What are we doing? If you just want to, like, drive and enjoy it, do nothing. Slant 6 does that fine. So, yeah. You've already got a leg up on those guys. I just learned that there's a button you can hit that makes comments disappear. I didn't know that. Nice. Larry Barker in Battle Creek, Michigan, checking in. How you doing? Nice. 38 POS Racing sent me a package. Oh, is hoping to get your package in the mail early this week. It will look just right. Can't wait. Dan Mafia is back. Hey, Jamie. Hope you're well. I watched your Charger video today, and you referred to the 383 as a big block. Well, yeah, it's a big block. Please excuse my ignorance, but is my 6'4" 392 considered a big block? No. Big block, small block doesn't really exist anymore. It's not really a thing. You've got a Hemi, a third-gen Hemi, and it's the only size V8 engine they have anymore, so you don't need a big block, small block distinction. The third-gen Hemi is roughly the size of the previous small block, the ALA Magnum, right? So it's small block size. Then it's got the wider Hemi head on it and the big valve cover and everything. And I don't remember where the deck height is at, but, bore size, block length, like everything about it, it's small block sized, essentially. But again, it's just kind of its own thing. Like we don't, small block, big block in Mopar land, that's not even what they're called. They're A engines and B engines and LA engines. And yeah, small block, big block are just like generic terms used to roughly divide bigger engines and smaller engines. Yeah, the 383 is a big block because the block is longer, the bores are bigger, it's wider, it's bigger in every direction. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. What really confuses people is engines like the 350 Chrysler B engine, which would be classified as a big block because of its physical size, but it's only 350 cubic inches. And then the 361 and then the 383 as well. There's a 400 cubic inch small block Chevy, but the 383 big block Mopar is larger than it in every dimension. It's big and heavy. So anyway, hopefully that makes sense. Guy Kugler is here and says, hi, Jamie. Glad your Charger's healthy again. Love the green GTX. Yeah, me too. The Charger thing. I like the GTX a lot. It's still pretty green. The number of comments supporting the green, just ridiculous. Oh, Ross hasn't been able to comment for months. Wow. Well, that's unfortunate, but welcome back. Oh, man. Richard Scott saw 2 old Power Wagons this weekend. One at the drag strip, one today with a Cummins. Wow. Nice. Mind blown watcher. You going single or dual quad tunnel ram on the 68? My Charger? It's a street car. I'm going exactly what it is now, which is an Edel Bron 4-barrel. I'm going to put dual quads on my 66 Barracuda. That's this whole other thing. And I have a dual quad low-rise manifold, and I now have 2 tunnel rams. I just got a Wyand tunnel ram, complete with dual 550 Edel Brons and the linkage and fuel line setup, like everything. The only thing is he had a scoop on it, but it was his brother's, and so his brother kept the scoop and filters and everything. So I'll probably just put the velocity stacks on it. But yeah, that'll be in my Barracuda, but I'm not doing anything like that on my Charger ever. Steve C. Hey, Jamie, do you know of any additives needed for the VP44 pump on the 24-valve Cummins? I've heard they were not built to handle today's diesel fuel. Steve, I don't know where you heard that, but it kind of sounds like total nonsense. The problem with the VP44 is fuel circulation. The lift pump system, the feed system, they underpressure the VP44, and it doesn't... How do I explain this in a way that makes sense? You need to keep fuel running through the VP44, hitting the bypass valve and returning fuel to the tank to remove heat from it. And the factory lift systems were like not adequate to do that. And so the pumps got hot, the electronics disintegrated, and that is the issue. That is the Achilles heel. That is what always kills them. I know of no compatibility issues with fuel That doesn't make sense to me. Now, I've heard about stiction, and I've heard about additives you can run to help with that, but that's an injector thing, and I don't even know. I don't know if I buy into that. I've never run any of that stuff. Yeah. No, I don't know what anyone would be talking about there. VP44s have issues, but I don't think fuel is the issue. I did know a guy who destroyed his by running used engine oil for fuel. Don't do that. Maybe on a 12 valve, but like filter it several times first. And also, I didn't tell you to do that because it's not legal. But the pump diesel should be just fine for your VP44. Dakota Campo, what would you recommend for replacement parts to rebuild a points distributor? I've heard it's hard to get quality parts nowadays. Yes, it is. Equine points from Napa are about the only ones that I have seen that are at all decent. And the funny thing about that is, I'm pretty sure they're still made by Standard Ignition. Standard Ignition makes like all the ignition parts for like all the lines at all of the parts stores. They're like, every one of them, I'm pretty sure, is Standard Ignition. But for whatever reason, the Equine brand units, points, are nicer, better material. They seem to just suck less. So that is what I buy. Purely anecdotal. I have no science for that whatsoever. But they seem better. So that's what I get. And grab a condenser while you're over there. And I think you can get Blue Streak in various places. Those are pretty nice. Cap, as long as your cap's got brass contacts, you're doing fine. Ross says, turn off the V6's traction control, then run them. Oh, yeah. Make sure you hit the sport mode button, too. Dina says, maybe I won't have to worry about the mounts because someone has already put a big block in it, but they are old. I want to get some solid K-frame to body isolators. Rubber ones were not great. Yeah, and they're always ruined. We did the polyurethane on the 73 here, and they're nice. The one we're doing at Rocket, we use the aluminum blocks. I think Firmfeel sells those. I think it's Firmfeel. Anyway, those seem cool too. I like the poly. You know, it's still kind of sort of isolated, but it's not going to dance around with poly bushing. So yeah, that's what I do. I wonder what kind of mounts are in there. But yeah, if it's set up for a big block already, I guess you're probably fine. You can get new isolators for factory big block mounts. But if you already have a kit in there that somebody got, they're probably not factory isolators. The Schumacher ones are polyurethane. So those should be just fine. Roy Cervantes, are you doing anything with the 69 charger for the channel? That's the idea. After my Tennessee road trip, I got back with like 3 nickels to rub together, and so I started looking at things going, you know what, it might be time to make some more tough decisions. And so I just decided I probably don't need this 69 charger. I have a 68. I don't know what I was thinking. So I started considering selling that, and I had someone that wanted to buy it, and then of course I mentioned that last week, and then someone else that we all know very well because he's here every week messaged me, and he's all excited about it. So it may well be sold. If I build that car, it will take literally forever. My big problem right now is I need to make progress on the Dart Sport build that's here. I don't have enough time to do that. And I cannot start on that 69 charger because if I cut a few pieces off, it's going to be 10 years until the pieces go back on. So yeah, I've been collecting parts for it. I got nice seats. I have a nice 440. I have a bunch of metal. And I'd love to be doing that, but it is not a near-term project. So if someone wants to pay my asking price, which frankly is quite reasonable for what I have assembled, I will let them. But I'm certainly not going to list it for sale. If someone is serious about it and wants to pay the price, then I will sell it. Otherwise, it can sit right where it is for the next 10 years. I don't really care. But I could use some money. There's some other things I'd like to do. And nearer term projects. Empire Rust, how's it going? Excuse me. Thanks, Dina. Appreciate that. Yes, you definitely will see the demon back at the track. with the great success coming in the next week. Richard Scott, what did you think of the Mopar poem I sent you? Silly. Is anyone supplying polycams? Seem to be rare as hen's teeth. They're out there, but yeah, just get yours reground. That's what I would do. Oh, dude, that is so cool. It's a 2-door, 66 Cornet 440. Needs a lot, and the engine is toast, but I want it. Won't be available to go get it until next weekend. Really hoping it's still available. Yeah, you better get after that. Those are desirable cars these days. Well, fairly desirable. It's a B-body. That's like the best you could get for a first Mopar. Like, just, that's a great one. They are worth something, but they're not like extremely expensive. Parts are out there kind of, although I've been looking for a front bumper for R66 for like 2 years now. Well, more than that. It depends on how you count. Yeah, yeah, but it's a B-body. That is the best platform if you ask me. The C-body is just too big and too boaty. The A-body, although I love them, and I have several, and I enjoy them, I see myself as an A-body guy, but the B-body is just, it's more stable. It rides nicer. It's less rattly and terrible. They're great handling, driving cars. Like, I just love the B-body. So yeah, that would be a great one. Steve Howie. Remember from last week, I have a 2-barrel intake I will never use. Did you message me on Facebook? I didn't get on there for a really long time, but I did get on there last week. Oh, holy crap. There's 20 more messages in there. I don't get notifications for these. So sometimes I just forget about it. And there's so much to do all the time. No, I don't see you in there. Huh. Okay. So maybe you email me? I don't know. If I got a message from you, I probably responded, but no idea. Anyway, I am interested. Yes, Chris. The what happened? What went wrong? What did I break? Video on the Demon. At the end of it, I changed the gears, but I didn't say that. And then I put axle shaft, changed the axle shaft, and then I went and drove it on the street with the corks off, and it was ridiculous. That was the very end of that video. So if you didn't make it to the very end of that video, you wouldn't have seen that. I didn't really explain what I was doing. I just did it. And then I took it for a drive. So I thought it would be obvious. Hey, it's fixed now. Now, nice. Dina had a 66 Dart with a 273 4-barrel. Nice. That's a good one. 273 Commando in a Plymouth, or 273 Charger in your Dart. And a 4-speed and sure grip. Very fun. Basically a factory bracket car. They're awesome. I love the 273, especially that one. Nice. Stage 0 Jason just got in from playing with my new 70 Fury 3. Found an aluminum 4-barrel intake in the trunk. Thinking of tossing that and the Edel Bron on its 318. Was told I should have a cam if I do that. Why? Just do it. AMC 290 to 401 is all the same block. Indeed. Buicks. Aren't Buick 350s the same block as like the 430? Or is the 350 actually smaller? I don't think it is. I think they're the same. Yeah, pretty sure. I used to kind of sort of know something about Buicks, but anyway, yeah. Just put the hopefully it's a Performer. That's what you want. Small port. But yeah, Performer and a little Edel Bron, and that's a great upgrade. It's great. There are no downsides to that. No Beret made it for his weekly dose of professional entertainment. Happy to provide. Thanks for coming. Ross wants to know if there's aftermarket sheet metal support for 67 Cornets. Not really. You can get quarter patches. I don't even know if they have quarter skins. I don't think they do. Oh, I take that back. They totally do. There's Charger. They have, yeah, okay. Duh. I knew they had Charger ones. They are not the same. The Charger wheel opening is cut higher, but they're very similar otherwise. Of course, Charger in 66 has the scoopy things. Cornet didn't get those until 67. But yeah, quarters are available. Nice. And Belvedere lowers are available too. I actually didn't know that. Nice. But that's going to be about the extent of the body parts, I bet. You definitely can't get like, doors or fenders, or you can get inner fenders because they're B-body. B-body is B-body. You can get floor panels, trunk panel, probably. There's some of that stuff available, but yeah, you can't get just anything. Yeah. Oh, I did confuse you. Clearly, yes, 400 Mopar is also a big block. Yes. Yeah, 400 is just a bored out 383. So if a 383 is a big block, 400 is also a big block. Mopar big blocks: 350, 361, 383, 383 tall deck, 413, 426 wedge, 440. I forgot 400. 400. There you go. And of course, the 426 Hemi is based on one, but it's kind of its own thing. Oh, Q Price says, "Hey Jamie, I enjoyed the video of your Charger. Really interested because my 440 just started doing the same thing. Wow, it's a nice looking car. Might be way nicer than mine. I'll try the choke it out thing a couple of times. I have fixed so many goofy tuning runability problems with that trick. Rev the engine up and hold it, close the choke, or block it with a rag. Let it take the thing off, rev it to clear it out, let it come back to idle. I do that 3 times and then tune it. Works really well. Empire Rust didn't see any Mopars at Rocky Mountain Race Week aside from that sweet Duster, and it was sweet. Oh, Josh, yeah, if your fuel filters got restricted and you had a VP44, yeah, same thing. They're so weird. They will run on lowered fuel pressure. Like, you could be starving them for fuel and they'll keep running and just destroy themselves. It's really fun. Yeah. Dan Mafia. Jamie, do you think it's weird? Got to get my chips, my snacks, and my Wobble Pops all ready to watch your Sunday night podcast. I sometimes eat snacks, and I usually have a frosty cold adult beverage, but unfortunately, I drank tonight's frosty cold adult beverage last night. Keith Goetri, Jamie, what's the plan for the 340 that came out of the Demon? Just wondering if you have a plan to get it back in the car anytime soon. Anytime soon? No. I need to get my Barracuda drag raceable. That is my plan. As soon as the Barracuda is ready for track stuff, then I will be ready and willing to pull the Demon apart and switch back to the 340. That's what I want to do. It's going to get roughly an engine compartment restoration. It'll probably be similar to my Charger, where it doesn't have to be 100% perfect, but at least close. That car's always going to have extra holes drilled in it under the hood. It's always going to have the spark plug holes. It's always going to be, it was a race car. And it's got touch-ups and things like that. But I want to get the numbers engine back in and put all the original components, which I have, on it. Still haven't decided if I take the TTI headers out or not. But now that I know the exhaust pipes are rusting out, yeah, I might be a little more excited to go back to stock on that. So... yeah, I mean, it's a survivor car, and so I just want to do like a basic mechanical restoration back to the stock 340. And that's not to say I'll never run it down a track again, because I might. But yeah, I would probably mostly go back to stock. That will happen, but I don't know when. I got to get my Barracuda done first, and it's already almost July. So I don't think it's going to the track this year. Although there is an event I might like to go to late summer, early fall. So I might try to build it for that, but we'll see. Ross says there's a spring retrofit for the 5.9 lift pump that gives more pressure. Interesting. Are you talking about the mechanical 5.9 lift pump? Because I'm talking about the electric lift pump that there are a few different versions, but they slapped it on the side of the 24 valve engine where the mechanical pump was, and it's really super dumb. And with a good relay, powering it fast isn't a problem. There are gazillions of trucks out there running them. Yeah. Yep. Great point. Yes. I wasn't really talking about 400 specifically, but yeah, they had the biggest bore, and the last run of them, 74 or 75, can't remember, till the end. Those 400s have the beefiest block. They have the most support around the main journals of any big block Chrysler. So yeah, they are great for building strokers and doing other ridiculous things. That is the block you want. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. End of time. Funny thing, I changed my mechanical fuel pump and saw green. 10 minutes, I thought I had a coolant leak, then realized my driven oil is green. Yeah. Nice. Nice. Dalton Sparks, how big of a pain is it to install one of those aftermarket AC systems? You touched on it in one video, but can you go into more detail, please? It's a pretty big pain. I hate them. They're made of plastic, cheap garbage, aftermarket junk. When the little stupid motors fail, then you gotta fix it. It's not the hardest thing in the world. It's just, I find it annoying. None of that stuff belongs, and I just got the feeling when I was installing their big stupid hunk of plastic that they're not that well built. I just wasn't impressed. But if you absolutely have to have air conditioning, it works. Yeah. I mean, the hardest part is there's a dashboard in your way, unless you could take that out. Depending on your application. E-body you can. Without pulling the windshield. Compressor install is straightforward. You got to get the hoses crimped, routed, cut, and crimped. And that can be challenging if you don't know anyone to do that for you. But otherwise, it's not a big deal. If I ever do another one of those kits, and I hope I don't, maybe I'll do a video. Dina misses the days when you can get a B-body for a couple $100. I wasn't around for those days. You could get an A-body for a couple $100. Steve Hovey, sent to your Gmail. Well, yeah, I went through all those. I'm pretty sure I responded to you, but I will look again later. Nice. Don Ross on Marketplace. A guy had 2 darts for $300. That's crazy. Richard Scott signing off. Birthday tomorrow. Another cancer. Nice. Have a good one, Richard. Oh, check your spam folder. Sometimes Gmails go to Gmail spam folder. Huh. Yeah. Okay. Steve C. Oh, still new to diesel engines and never have been a fan of snake oil. Yeah, me neither. Thank you, All Classics. Yes, I was right on Buick blocks. They're all the same block. Yep. Buick 455. That's the last one. And it is an enlarged version of the 430. I don't think they had to raise the deck height or anything, so I'm pretty sure it's still the same basic architecture. Nice. Good evening, Answer 14. How you doing? Yeah. There's been lots of attention for Power Tour. I've been on my own event, the Down on Power Tour. Valve train woes in the 360, shockingly followed by cam fail. Well, this is probably the other way around, but yeah, that sucks. Oh, it's not the first time, and it won't be the last. Doc the Butcher is here and says, Uncle Tony sent me. Well, welcome, Doc, and thanks for joining. I like that Uncle Tony guy. Yeah. Uncle Tony Attack. Wow, yeah. Everybody rolled in about 7 minutes ago. Welcome. Jeff Hutchins, Chris Freemesser, Mexican Spec, Dad Isla Breton, Josh Homan. Welcome aboard. Robert Fitch, if I recall correctly, 71 was the last year for the 440. 383, you mean? And 72 was the first year for the 400, yes. Yeah, and I've seen forged crank 72 400s, but I don't know. I don't know, because I've also heard there were cast crank 383s. I've never seen one of those, though. So I don't know what to tell you. Rich Shim. Hey, gents. Should I replace the rear drum brakes on my 73 Charger? Why? What's wrong with them? Chris Freemaster says it's July. You're allowed 2 frosty adult beverages per day. You're probably right, but I drank a lot of them last night. Mexican Spec says the rules are different here. Nice. Yeah. 318 Magnum. What's up with the 4-door parts car? What 4-door parts car? One of Tom's, I'm assuming. I don't have any 4-door parts cars. I don't believe in parts cars. Jeff Hutchins. It's funny, people talk about how bad VP44s are. It's actually that they're so good, they mask a bad lift pump. Yeah, nice. Yeah. Charger versus Charger. Uncle Tony versus DDG. Nice. I could get a hip to that. Mine's just a stock low compression 383. Excuse me. Rusty Fuel. I'm totally rebuilding the AC in my 70 Dart. Where should I get parts? We used a bunch of factory AC parts on that Cornet convertible AC system. And all of that stuff came from not Vintage Air, but Classic Auto Air was the company. And we used their compressor retrofit, but they also had, I believe, factory style hoses. They had the thingy, the magic canister dryer, that thingy. They had everything. So Classic Auto Air, check them out. Stock usually is better than any other parts. I couldn't agree more. Mechanical 12 valve, yeah. I didn't know those had a lift pump problem. I mean, I have seen the FASs on those, but like, I didn't know. What do you do when your 75 Valiant takes too much time to be done? You trade your 06 F-150 for a 64 Valiant. Great life decision there. 06 F-150, that's right in the bad range. Ugh. At least if it's a 3-valve. Guy Kugler. Hey. Did Dale ever have rear end issues? He twisted axle shafts. Yes, and he told me that. And Dale's 82. Like, he forgets stuff, right? Who could possibly blame him for that? He had not mentioned to me. I knew he had issues with twisting shafts. I knew he had spares. I knew why he had spares and gave them to me with the car. I did not know that he used to have some nice, fancy Go Fast performance axle shafts in the car. Because he twisted a bunch of stock ones, and he sold those in the 2000s. So I don't have them. But yeah, he had issues twisting shafts. That was it. Yeah. Glenn Uromi prefers an AC system that is basically having the windows open. Less weight, less BS, more power. I get that. Totally get that. But I do also really like air conditioning. But I'm not one to add it to a classic car. I mean, if it already has it, great. But just, I don't know. Just don't drive it on hot days. Like, yeah. I mean, especially here where we're at, it's really only a couple weeks a year where you really want AC. Ross, the advantage of the mechanical lift pumps, whoops, apologies, it's a terrible sound, became apparent when my alternator crapped out 45 miles from home and I was able to drive home with no issue. 45 miles and dual batteries, you'd probably be fine with the electric pump, but yeah, still, it's great. That is, yes, one of many great things about a mechanical diesel. Classic Dude Mike wants to know how my Rick bass is holding up. It's holding up great. There it is. The whole band was in here last night. We started jamming at like 10:30 p.m. Miraculously, the police never showed up. Figure that one out. But yeah, it was great. Little cramped in here. We had all three of us standing in a row. Caleb was here. I was in the middle. Seth was there. And then everyone that was watching was just outside the kitchen door. Like, it was pretty fun. Of course, Mike was over here behind the drums where he belongs. But yeah, Rick Base is doing awesome. I love it. I keep seeing ads for more Rick Bases. I can't afford another one. I'd really like a fretless one of these days. And yeah, someday, if I become YouTube rich or whatever, I'll just have. I won't tell you that I've got lots of money, but there'll be signs and it'll be 5 Rick Bases in a row. Good evening, Ray Ray Adkins. How you doing? Aha, Mexican Spec. What is this we hear of a rematch? How will this happen? Yes, there's going to be a rematch, but here's the thing. Atari pole position. I'm not driving back to Tennessee this year. And I think we all know Tony's not driving up here. But here's the thing. We have cameras and the internet. So, I think we can make this happen. There's one little stipulation that will make it not just comparing ETs, but comparing time slips involving reaction time. I think that will be the key to comparing times. So, yeah. I'm sure I'll drive to Tennessee again one of these years, but not for a while. So that's my genius plan. And there will be a video coming. I've got my time slip ready to go. So, yeah. Huh. I'm so confused by all that. Stanidine. There's a Stanidine additive? Never heard of that. Yep. Mexican Spec sweating it out in a 90-degree room to be on here. Dedication. I appreciate your service. Drop the clutch. No. Yeah, so I fixed everything wrong with my car with a gear change and slipping the clutch out of the hole. I gained 0.7 of a second. Those two things. And there's more in it. A lot. Yeah. Does a White Russian count as a breakfast beverage? Yeah. The dude certainly thinks so. You ought to know that. Darylyn Hutchins. Man, you have a lot going on. I don't even want to talk about how much I got going on. What about the Forgotten Slant Turbo? I have not forgotten. I get asked about it all the time, which I love. Yeah, I'm going to do that as soon as I can, but it's on the back burner for sure. I still have a pile of parts. I still have a 63 Valiant sitting at Rocket that I need to pay Tom for and then bring home. But I need to put my Barracuda in front of that, and I need to put a bunch of things in front of my Barracuda. So, yeah. But there's a running slant car that's ripe for the turboing. I just need to get the car and do it. I need to buy a few more parts as well. But yeah, forgotten is the wrong word, but I haven't gotten into it yet. All Classics Restoration says Classic Auto Air is a great company, much better than Vintage. I've been using them for years. Yeah. Answer 14. Jamie, is there an age or how old is too old for a motor to be run before going through? Not mileage, but just age. Yeah, lasts forever. Yeah. If it's been run periodically, so it's not rusting and the cam's still lubricated, if it's been run once a year or once every 6 months for the last forever, it's fine. The only issue you're going to run into really is rubber parts, gaskets and stuff wearing out. But yeah, no, I don't care how old it is. I mean, as long as it's been treated nicely and the fluids have been changed and it's been run periodically, when they sit for decades and decades, you can start running into various exciting issues. But yeah, no, just being old is not cause to rebuild an engine, if that's really your question. Kind of sounds like it is. Dina, really hate what they did to the Chargers after 74. Yeah, I kind of like Cordobas now, and I know that's messed up. The 73-74 front end, It's not my favorite. My favorite is the 71 non-hideaway. But I don't think it's that bad. It's again, it's not my favorite, but I don't mind it so much. Yeah. Some of us are just born with dementia. Hello. What's your name again? Yeah, 71 last year for 3D3. All passenger type vehicles were cast crank. No, they weren't. My father's 72. Well, maybe you mean passenger 3D3s. My father's 72 Newport 400 had forged crank. Yeah, I just wonder why they did that. Why did they cast crank the 3D3 but then forge crank the 400 for 1 year? The 400 in my old Challenger was a forged crank. And it had been supposedly built to go racing or whatever, although I'm pretty sure it was just Street Freak. Yeah, everything about it tells me it was just Street Freak. But so I didn't know if they like built it with forged crank or if it was factory. But it was a 72 400, and I've seen others like that. So factory. Yeah, vent windows are great. Do new cars have vent windows? No, I haven't had them for a long, long time. The last Dodge truck to have vent windows was 1993. Dan Mafia, Jamie, I'm sorry. I should know this. Stone Soup. I lost contact with it. You wouldn't happen to know where it is. I have no idea. I lost track of it too. Go to Functional Histories, and he, I'm sure, is making community posts and keeping everybody updated. He's got a playlist with all the videos. So yeah, Functional Histories is the channel. Go over to his channel, and he should have made an announcement about where it currently is. And he should be posting community posts linking to the videos and stuff, or at least getting them in that playlist. But yeah, I don't know where it's at right now. The last update I saw, it was at Junkyard Necromancer. Yep. Nice. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. When your mechanical fuel pump, when the diaphragm tears, it can like continue running while pumping fuel into the oil. Yeah. It died, and then they found the overfull oil. That happened to me on a Slant 6 in 2009. I've told this story before. I had a crappy ancient oil drain, and I drained that oil/gasoline into that oil drain, and it's still at my mother's house. Because what do you even do with that? Smudge pot. Anyway. Yeah. Oh, Jeff Militich points out, yes, 35,700 something subscribers. 35,726. Good deal. Full Garage commented on the community post? Full Garage is here. Anyway. Oh, Kelly Smith. Almost missed out. Better late than never. Welcome, Kelly. How you doing? T-Bird 75's brother just gave me an Ibanez acoustic last week. Nice. Brian the Car Hauler is here and says hello from Ohio. Enjoy the channel. Building a small block turbo for my 65 Cornet. Nice. I love 66 Cornets, but 65s are also great. In-car cameras. I always have an in-car camera. I was asked about this last week too. Every single drag pass I've ever made, I had an in-car camera. Every single drag video I've ever done, it had in-car camera shots. And Tony had his GoPro when we went to Etheridge, but they didn't end up using any of that in their video. Just used the outside footage. So anyway, I'm not too worried about it, but I will have that. A virtual race, yes. And it's a little disappointing, but it's the best we can do without one of us driving 3,000 miles one way. So I think it's a cool idea. It wasn't my idea. It was the other guy, and I like it. Saves me a lot of money. So yeah, looking forward to it. I really am, because now this is interesting because I mentioned the number earlier. The number I ran on Friday, all three of the numbers I ran on Friday would have beat his pass at Etheridge when my car broke. But his car wasn't running right, and he has since fixed it. So now it's just really, really interesting. We will see where we're at. The time I put down is right around the best Slag Hammer has run. I think I'm a little behind, like a 10th off maybe, or less. 10th or less. So it's right there. So we'll see. We will see. Keep Tony away from your car so you can't break your rear axle again. It's a really funny joke, and I appreciate it. And yeah, well, he's 3,000 miles away, so we're good on that. But I know what broke that axle shaft, and it was me being dumb and not changing the gears. And that might sound counterintuitive. I was kind of like talking about that in the What Did I Break video, but changing to the more aggressive gear took the bog away. So now there's less, it's not fighting the tires. It's a way better match for the tire, for the slick I have. So the bog is gone. So if you think about it like that, it's that right there puts less strain on drivetrain components. And then I'm also actually slipping the clutch out of the hole like I should have been the whole time. And it is just so much better. So much better. Because when I sidestepped the clutch, well, I snapped an axle shaft in 2 pieces. Happy Tomorrow Canada Day to all of our Canadian friends, which is many. We have a lot of those. You bet, Don Ross. You have a good evening. We'll see you later. Oof. Oh, that was nice. To those of that persuasion. Nice. Nice. What's a weird noise? Rebuild 364 barrel with 302 fast burn truck heads. They call them fast burn? Whatever, swirl port heads. Keep 8 1/4. Why are you putting 302s on a 360? You're going to raise compression, but you're going to really chew into the top end on that, I would think. Much smaller valve, smaller port. 302 heads are really restrictive. I don't know. You can hog the crap out of them. Kind of, but the pushrod holes are bigger too, so you can't go as far into the intake port. If I were doing that, and I have, the Demon engine, I wouldn't go to the 302s just trying to get the closed chamber. I wouldn't do that. I'd stick with the 360 head. Anyway, as far as your question, keep the 8 1/4 or run to the hills to find an 8 3/4. They are not available and they're super expensive. I would stick with your 8 1/4 unless you're putting slicks on it. You're probably just fine. Yeah. Mike Wolf. Can bad gas feel or sound like an ignition issue? I have a Marine 440 running rough. Feels like a cylinder drops out under load around 3,000 RPM. It could. Yeah, it absolutely could. You could have other stuff going on too, but maybe not. Oh, you're talking about the isolated K-frame. Well, that came in 73, and okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I was thinking about the grills and stuff. It's basically just C-body stuff plus those isolators. The factory isolators, when they're all dry rotted and disintegrating, sucks, but I don't know. I don't know that I mind it that much, but I also haven't gotten to test it thoroughly either, so I don't know. I like the earlier setup. They worked really well, so they should have left it alone. But, you know, personal luxury or whatever. Edward Poe, wasn't the 400 designed for NASCAR use? I don't think so. But I'm not an expert. Thanks, Darylyn. Appreciate that. Oh. The front ends are interchangeable. Kind of. Nice. Classic Dude Mike. I have ADHD and usually have multiple projects going on at one time. I find it to be my happy place. You too? You've seen my videos, right? Yeah. Could explain the forged crank. I guess. Dan Tupper says he came across a forged crank 400 in a 76 cop car. Interesting. Gas saturated oil is perfect for getting your burn pile going. Kids, if you're listening, don't do that. Are you going to practice a lot? Well, just the 3 times on Friday was enough to produce an acceptable time. So I would like to practice much more. My friend Tim was there on time and he ran like 8 or 9 test and tune hits on Friday. I ran 3. I would have run more, but I didn't get there until late because I'm an idiot and dumb and bad at stuff. And I had to mow the lawn and get a whole 2-post lift off the ramp truck by myself. And I have more excuses too if you want to hear those. But anyway, I got there and I made 3 passes and I thought that was pretty good. Yeah. Totally agree. And in my videos on the toolbox charger, the 73 charger I did here, I explained exactly how to fix that filler problem. The problem is when you pull the bumper in, all of a sudden the 73, 74 grills do not fit anymore. They run into they run into things. And so what we were going to do was take the headlight surround rings out, but then the openings around the headlights would be squared, which would be weird. So I don't know. We didn't end up doing that. We did the hideaways. That's what's on the toolbox charger. And I'm glad we did that. Oh, he actually, he won Best 70s Car at a car show on Saturday. Pretty cool. Ross found a forged crank 400 in a 78 factory record. That's interesting. Huh. Any music tonight? Yeah. Well, I opened with one, and we'll find some note to end on, I hope. Yeah. Dan Mafia. I had previously asked a question about my harmonic balancer. The rubber came out of the dish or the pulley. Should I be worried? Well, that's a one-piece balancer. So, yeah. Newer stuff. I assume we're talking about something newer, right? Where the pulley is attached to the harmonic balancer. Because there's no rub. Well, there shouldn't be a rubber in the outer thing. There's only one pulley I know of that has that. And it's the AC A-body pulley, which, whatever. What engine is this? You should probably still be worried. Wow. Derek McMillan says hello from Fairbanks, Alaska. I can't say anything right. Just picked up an 89 Shelby Dakota. I was thinking Magnum 5 2-liter. Thoughts? My thoughts are that you should leave it alone because those are rare and special, and it probably makes plenty of horsepower already. Having said that, I like Magnum engines. They're cool, and it's not a hard swap to do on that, so there are my thoughts. I hope that helps. Dina says Slaghammer should be a 4-wheel drive and on 44s. It was originally supposed to be a gambler car, but it wasn't going to be 4-wheel drive. It's supposed to be a street freak. It's amazing. I followed that car through traffic on his trailer for like an hour and a half, and I just loved every minute of it. That thing is just amazing how it is. Slicks this wide, sticking out. No, Chris, I didn't replace the battery because you told me it wouldn't work. You said that's not your problem if it doesn't power up with the battery disconnected. I disconnected the battery again, as you can see, and tried that a couple times. Nothing happened. Then I gave up. And I've just been using the air, which works fine. I don't know where I put that. Might be in the kitchen. Anyway. There you go. Mopar Performance used to sell new ported 302 heads with 360 valves. Huh. That's cool. I didn't know that. That's cool. I mean, the closed chamber is great. It's just all the other things that are not as great for 360. So, yeah, that sounds awesome. Jeff Militich says, when I have bad gas, I sometimes hear odd sounds. Yeah, all right. Wow. Dan Tupper says those were ported by Arrowhead. Flowed good numbers, but cost a lot. Huh. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. Squirrel! Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Grocery 360 for the torquey daily driving. Kept the towing camshaft. It does 60 miles an hour, I imagine, on tow touch. Gonna be my girl's first car in 2 years, so it's more than enough. Yeah, you should put a slant 6 in it. Okay, cool. Would you ever think of doing a Mopar Resto mod? No. That was louder than I thought it would be. Not for me. Don't want it. No interest. I'll build one for you if you want to pay me a bunch of money, but yeah. Oh, awesome. Glenn Yoromi sent me $10 and said, get some ciders on me. Thank you for all the cool videos and sharing your knowledge with all of us. Happy to do it. Thank you very much, Glenn. I appreciate that. Am I just louder now? Oh, okay. I'm quieter again. We're good. Goofy. What a weirdo. Now I lost my spot in the comments. Classic. Steve says 72 400 4-barrels have steel cranks. 73 manual 400s have steel cranks. Autos have cast. 74 newer 400s have cast cranks, manual, and auto. See, that makes good sense to me, except for the other people saying that they've seen forged cranks in later engines, which I haven't. So, yeah. Steve also says, check the fuel pump in that Marine 440. Balancer is like two pulleys with a rubber sandwich between them. But what is that on? What was the application for that? Was that on your Hemi? Nice. Dina says you did an awesome job with the 73 and the hideaway headlights. Look amazing. I actually took a picture of it at the show. There's another car I think I mentioned. A Belvedere, which that video could have come out today also, and that didn't happen. I already have next week's videos like in the cam, but I got lots of editing to do. Anyway, there's the 73 at the car show. Looking good. That little sticker on the headlight door. Oh, well, I don't remember what it said specifically. Push Rod's pick. They picked it. Like I said, it was their favorite 70s car, which is cool. Proud of that. I had a lot to do with that. I didn't paint it or do the interior, but I did a lot. Anyway, at the same show, I had another car that I've done a bunch of work on. Well, not a bunch, you know what I mean. Anyway, 66 Belvedere 2. Really like that car. And that video is coming, but it's not edited yet. Also, I saw this, which I loved. This was probably my favorite thing there. Oh yeah, 1-ton Dodge, 39 to 47 or whatever. Actually, it's probably 10.5. Yeah. But what was really interesting on that is, I don't know if you can see it. It's all blurry. There. It has vent windows. Those aren't supposed to have vent windows. Power wagons have vent windows. Same cab, same doors, but they have vent windows. So those are power wagon doors. Could even be a power wagon cab. Not a power wagon front clip. Anyway, I just thought that was cool. Okay, it is on the 392. 6.4, yeah. Large pulley in front of the harmonic balancer. Has a dish. Rubber came out of the dish. Found it sitting on my upper rad. Yeah, you're going to want to change that. Jordan is headed out. Hope the rest of the stream goes well. Well, me too. But it could all go down in flames, I suppose. Definitely be back next weekend, and hopefully I'll be the proud owner of a 66 Cornet by then. Good luck, my friend. Hope you pull it off. That's a great car. Nice. I still don't know any C6 Steve. I need to learn some. I like him. Good dude. Nice. Oh, wow. Todd Denio is back and says, I'm late, but made it. I've been sleeping a lot since last heart attack the other day. Hey, don't do that. Anyway, glad you made it. Oh, no, I agree. I get what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're laying down. I like what it is. I really like what it is. In fact, if it's ever for sale, I hope he calls. Wouldn't change a thing. Classic Dude Mike, any interest in doing an altered wheelbase early A-body? It's cool. Someday, maybe. I need a much, much, much bigger shop to house all the cars that I want to own or build. There was a super cool 63 Dart altered wheelbase that a guy did on the A-body group. Bill Moon, I think is his name. It's so cool. Watch the process of him building it. It's white with, red, white, and blue paint scheme. It's got the right stance. It's got the right graphics and lettering. It's just, immaculate. And so, yeah, I could get excited about that, but I don't know that I will ever build one. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. All Classics got Sega video out this morning. Speaking of awesome classic looking drag cars, I need to go over and watch that. Mike Carson has a 66 Plymouth Belvedere. Nice, yeah. I like 66 Plymouths and 66.7 Plymouths as well. Oh, yeah, right. I just showed you one. Yeah, we used to have a 67 Belvedere two-door hardtop. It had a 383 in it. I got that for my wife for Christmas one year. All she really wanted was her wagon back, so we eventually pulled that off. Yeah. Dina was wondering how my old Power Wagon's coming along. I sold it. Nice. Bell James just got off a half-hour call from my son, listening behind. Well, all right. Nice. Resto. Yeah, I know what you meant, Jeff. How about this resto mod? 60s W300 crew, 12-valve Cummins, sound deadened, power windows, locks, AC cruise, etc. Have an 85 Cummins crew and a 95 crew. Wow. Need a 68 to 71. I'd rather do the 80s one. I like the look of the swept line. Man, the swept line crew especially is like... No, I'm pretty sure you need to pull your whole balancer down. I'm pretty sure those are one piece. I'm not an expert on those, but I'm pretty sure that is a one-piece balancer. Or it's all one. You can't bolt a pulley on it. It's the whole thing. Anyway, yeah. As much as I love the swept lines, that is not what I would do. I want the 80s one. You already have it. So there you go. Those trucks are, I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, what you just described was like an Icon build or whoever, and it's like $120,000, and I have no interest in that. I have no interest in building it or owning it. But I get the appeal. Todd Denio, does LA stand for light A or late A? Lightened A. Light A. Not the other one. 67 Peabody sounds so cool. Nice. Oh, Sleeper Dude bought Steve Mag's Funny Fairmont. Oh, that's awesome. I did not know that. All right, I'm at the bottom of the comments, which is crazy, so I'm going to look it up. Here we go. 20. No, that's a 1. 2018. Harmonic balancer. Pulling them is kind of interesting. Yeah, it's just, well, these are all performance ones. That's not what I want to see. Oh, yeah. It's got like the deadening ring inside it. Crankshaft damper fell off. Apparently, it is not an unheard of issue. But yeah, you have to change the whole thing. You're not shoving a piece of rubber back in that. It's not going to happen. And, I might stand corrected. There might actually be a separate damper insert on the factory one. Are those bolts or not? Oh, no. Sorry, those are threaded holes for a puller. Yeah, no, there's no bolts. Yeah, threaded holes for a puller. Oh, well, that's cool because it's, you can actually use a friggin' normal balancer puller, bolt grip puller instead of the stupid Chrysler one. So that's nice. That is nice. Jeff Hutchins, you build me the 68 to 71 Cummins crew. I'll trade you for the 85. I don't have $100,000 laying around to do that with. Hey, you caught up. I sure did. Thanks, John, but I don't know if I can accept that. What was the 50s pickup with factory tail fins? Well, it was just the Dodge truck in 57, 58. Whatever the heck they I don't think it had a. Well, maybe it did have a special name, but I don't know. Something people refer to it as. A Charger is not a Cordoba. No rich Corinthian leather. Well, you say that. My Chrysler 300 has rich Corinthian leather, but they didn't advertise it as that. Have you ever had a good functioning power steering setup on a 71 or earlier truck? Yes, I have. The 70, the gold truck here, I don't know why or how, but the power steering on that has always worked just fine. Yes, it's a RAM assist system. Very, very similar to Ford power steering from the 60s. And earlier, and probably later. It works pretty well, yeah. Yeah. See you, Glenn. Thanks for being here. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Yes, I sold it. I'm sad. I still have a couple little ones to remember it by. I love that truck in theory. In practice, it was fun, but not comfortable or enjoyable to drive. And it was worth more to me not here anymore. And the young gentleman that bought it, it was his dream truck. And he was so excited. And I was excited for him. So, anyway. And that solved a lot of problems for me. So yeah, I have no regrets. Love the truck. Love the logo. Awesome. It still lives on somewhere. But yeah. Oh, nice. John McIntosh, speaking of 66 Cornets. Oh, that's a good one. Just bought a 66 Cornet 500 and I watch you on YouTube constantly. Nice. Well, thanks for watching. Appreciate that. I'm sure I have a lot of info on the channel that will be useful to you. That's a cool car, man. Nice work. I really like those. There's my friend Tom with the Mopar Ranch. I did a video on that forever ago. He has a 66 Cornet 500. I showed it in that video. I have been gently trying to get that for about probably 6-7 years now. So yeah. Yeah, it is a one-piece unit. Yeah, sorry. I saw pictures of a couple different styles. I saw one that didn't have the big ring and rubber insert in the front, so then I was confused. Anyway. Yeah, Dan, I'm sure there are videos out there, and there will be people that actually know what they're talking about on modern Hemis, because I don't. I've never had to do that. I've done heads on them. We've done cams and lifters and all kinds of other things, but I've never had to do that. Old stuff rules. Thank you. Yes, appreciate that. And I am also very pleased. Hocus Pocus by Focus. Oh, how does that go? It's really weird. I can't remember it. Frankenstein by Edgar Winter's a good one. What key is that in? Is that in F sharp? Yes, it is. Whatever. Something like that. Not answer 14. Take it easy. Yeah. I must be weird. Not a fin fan. If it has fins, they gotta be small. The sweet spot for me is 55 Chrysler or Plymouth. I like that little fin. A lot of it's in the taillight. It has that shape, but it's not, it's not excessive. I've always thought the 57 Plymouth was awkward looking, but in my advanced age now, I see it and go, that's kind of cool. I kind of like it. 59's a little out there, especially the toilet seat on the trunk, or toilet bowl or whatever they call that. But yeah, my favorites are the little teeny tiny baby fins, but I do think they're nifty. Excuse me. Lowell 1976 with a great question. Are there any quality, affordable, long tube headers for a big block 73 Charger that fit without too much hammering? The too much hammering is going to be your big issue there. If you have manual steering, maybe. I had to heat and beat savagely the headmans that we put on the 73 here. Decent quality. Happy with that. Did the Remflex gaskets. No leaks yet. But yeah, I had to clearance them a lot around the steering box. The column, because it was a column shift column, and so there was a bit of contact there. And also around the torsion bar, because it just sat on the friggin' torsion bar. So I don't think there's any such thing as a set of headers that don't have to be beat a little bit. TTI, if you want quality, buy TTI. If you want affordable, that's not quality. That's another thing. But the headmans we did, decent. They were decent. But I did have to beat them quite a bit. Yeah. Oh, I believe what you have to say over pretty much anybody else. Well, I appreciate that. But again, if I'm out of my depth, you know. Lots of yodeling. Yeah, I was trying to picture, like, I can't remember, like, a melody or any of, yeah. Even dealer mechanics don't know all about their vehicles. I learned a long time ago, dealer techs, like, we can't revere them as like gods or immortals or anything, because they're just like you or me. So are rocket scientists. So are brain surgeons. I mean, they know some things, but the point is, the dealer mechanics are just mechanics that have had better training. Whether that means they know everything or, you know, it doesn't automatically. I am sure there are good dealer mechanics, but I've met some not so good ones. So, there you go. Who else hates the Eagles? Okay, this is going to sound funny. I think Hotel California is great, and that's it. And even though I've heard it 10 billion times, I still think it's great. Yeah. 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 Yep. Yeah, that cool late 50s Dodge truck with quarters off. Are they off a coupe? I thought they were off a wagon. Someone said wagon, but no, those wouldn't be long enough. Anyway, yeah, I did it again. That's a cool truck. Yeah. Is your 309 going to be a daily driver? What's a 309? Yeah. Todd Denial. It's a bit new for my taste, but I found a 91 Chrysler LeBaron GTX convertible that's been sitting 22 years. Was told they're rare. Are they? I don't know. I've literally never heard of it, so maybe it is. Do you think the column shifter linkage will be a problem with long tube headers in a 73 Charger Auto Trans? Maybe. Like I was just explaining, that one that we did, it doesn't have the linkage anymore, but it still has the thingy, and like I think the tube is a different size, but maybe it's not. Anyway, I had to beat the header tube that goes back there a little bit. I don't know what that noise was. No. Oh, GTC. GTC. I don't know. I don't know. 92 power diesel. What do you think of 408 swapping a Little Red Express? How do you think it'll compare to the factory hot rod engine? The factory hot rod engine in 1978-79 was not amazing. There's a whole lot more to be found in that platform, even with the stock crank. Like, you could hot rod that 360 and do some good stuff. And the fact that my Demon is powered by one of those smog era 360s with small ports and less great heads, but like almost does wheelies, I think says everything you need to know about that. Having said that, the 408's easy mode. You can just buy it on a crate and put it in there, and awesome stuff is going to happen. What do I think of doing it? If I had a Little Red Express, I would not ruin it by putting a ridiculous hot rod engine in it. I think the 192 horsepower or whatever is plenty. I think a Little Red Express, at least if it's in like semi-decent shape and all the important pieces are there, is worth leaving alone. If you want to hot rod the factory engine, again, you can do that. They left a lot on the table for you. I mean, making 3 to 350 horsepower is no problem if that's what you want, but I would stick with a factory engine if that is an option for you, and save yourself a lot of money. Although you do then have to build an engine, so it's not like it's free. Unless you can do all the work yourself. Yeah, we're coming to the end here. I've only been on for an hour 50 because I was 5 minutes late because my stupid computer was rebooting. I gotta figure out a song to play, I guess. Wow. Ben Braddock. Back in the 80s, there was a guy in Daytona Beach with an early 80s Dodge D50 mini truck. Under the camper shell, he had a supercharged 400 big block set up Hemi under glass style. That's like the coolest thing I've ever heard of. Greg Ryan, what steps do you suggest/use to store a recently rebuilt engine? Engine stand or pallet? Anything in cylinder bores? Rotate every month? You need to, what about rocket surgeons? It's not rocket surgery, dude. You need to keep it somewhere dry. If it's sealed with plugs in it and it's covered, I wouldn't be worried about lubricating it. Rotating every month is a fine idea, but if you've got it somewhere dry, that's not going to be a problem. Now, the problem you will have, or can have, is if this engine is built and the cam is gooped and then it's set on the stand, the goop might leave, might all run off the cam. Really depends on what you're using, but that would be my one concern, that by the time you go to start this thing, there may not be cam lube left on the cam and the lifters. So other than that, I wouldn't really be worried about anything. As long as it's sealed up, you got plugs in it, you've got it wrapped up, and it's in a dry environment, ideally heated dry environment. As far as rotating, every rotation of your new engine wipes away that lubrication I was just talking about on the cam and the lifters. So that's not necessarily a good idea either, if it's a brand new, never run engine. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I was just saying. They're just like you or me, but with better training. Whether that means they're better or not. And often not. Scott Day, you're very late to the party. I'm going to get off here in a few minutes, but thanks for joining. Can you play Looking Out My Back Door? Probably. Today I'll have no sorrow. Looking out my back door. Did I mention my voice is blown out? I think I did. See you, Paul Steinberg. Dave Stark still loves my charger. Me too. Yeah. She's real fine, my 309. Nice. Hey, Jamie, Scott Mazier. I have found a Carter 4968S. What is the CFM? Scott, all you have to do is go Carter 4968S CFM in the Google, and it will tell you. $750? $750. There you go. Is my 300 going to be a daily driver? Yeah, it's not a race car or anything. I did have some very, very mild performance mods in mind for it eventually. I still need to get the brakes done, among other things. Nice. What is that? Sometimes weird noises happen. I don't know what that's about. Mexican Spec says the GTC is not a rare car. Nice. Do you guys hear a buzzing? I hear a buzzing. Nice. Scott Mazier, enjoying your videos. Hope to drive my Charger down to visit soon if you guys are at the shop this week. Yeah, I'll be there Tuesday. I don't know about beyond that. Well, I think I'll be there Tuesday. I don't actually know anything. Someone will be around. Oh, and Scott sent me a $9.99 super sticker. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Where can I find the 66 Cornet 500 videos you mentioned? It was born in 318. Now it's a 383. The only video I did on that car, it was just a quick clip in a video called, I don't even remember what I called. Tour the Mopar Ranch in Western Washington, something like that. I don't even remember. And I only showed it briefly. Haven't done anything else on that yet. Barry Kuda, what is up? Scott Day can hear some jams. Maybe not some good ones, but you can hear them. Kathleen Murray just got in from Illinois. How you doing there? Still awesome, if you say so. Yeah, AMC guy. That is also how I usually choose to sing that song. How often do you do these live chats? Every Sunday night? Indeed, every Sunday night for 2 hours or so from 6 p.m. Pacific, which is like 8 Central. Is that right? Something like that. Yeah. 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific. Every Sunday. Barring extenuating circumstances. Dina, would love to put a 4-speed in the Charger, but I have a bench seat. Can't move it forward enough for me, and it has a 4-shifter that I hate for the auto trans. Well, that sucks. I won't be putting a 4-speed in mine. I just don't. I like the column shift. It's great. Nice. Yeah, fun should always be the objective. Any of you guys smell burning feathers? Nice. Nice. Scott Day, if it makes you feel any better, I've been watching your videos while I rebuilt and vinyled the front seat of my Duster. Well, binge watching your videos. I appreciate it. I'll be honest, I don't necessarily feel any better. It didn't help my throat. But, yeah, it did give me the warm and fuzzy, so thank you for that. And thank you, Greg. Appreciate that. Take it easy. Yeah. Air-conditioned environment. Well, depending on your climate. Nolan, how you doing? Been a while since Nolan caught a Sunday stream. Great to be here again. Appreciate you coming in. I do not like Joe Walsh at all, even a little. The smell you hear is Leonard Skinnerd. At 1 o'clock in Victoria, Australia. Awesome. Thank you. Thanks, John. Appreciate that. All right. Got to the end of the comments. Hour and 58. I feel pretty good about that. See what we got in here. Already did that. Already did that. I never actually learned that. I don't know. Me too, Dan. p.m. Monday. Huh. Right, it's tomorrow there. Thanks, Dan. Catch you later. All classics. Oh yeah, we gotta do that. Cheers. Acres of Rust and Decay. Yes, that's it. Yep. And it's really close to the beginning. It's like a few minutes in, I think. Yeah. There you go. Acres of Rust and Decay, tour the Mopar Ranch, hidden in Western Washington, something like that. Hi, Chowie. Hey, B. What's you doing? Oh, yeah. Charlie's here. Hi, Charlie. Yeah. There's Charlie dog. How you doing? You smell. You need a bath. Okay. Link Ray.
Smell bath.
Yeah, she smells terrible. She needs a bath. All right. I was just getting off. You want to say hi and bye?
Hello, goodbye.
Nice. Nailed it.
Come on, Chloe.
Half pint. Half squirt. All right. Thanks for being here, everybody. Appreciate that.
Chloe.
Go with her. Nope. Charlie's staying with me. That's
Okay.
my dog. All right. Have a good night, everybody.
I'm pretty sure that's Mom's dog.
No, that's my dog. Ghost is Mom's dog. No question of that.
Actually, that's Ben's dog.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Okay. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate that. Dalton Spark, Chevy Hemi, Scott Day, the Classic Dude Mike, the 92 Power Diesel, Dan, Robert Fitch, Dina. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. And I will see you next week and in the comments. Night, Todd. Bye-bye.